Hey YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead coming to you today with a video on free poultry feed. And what I've got behind me is I've got a plum tree. We have an extreme infestation of Japanese beetles. And so in the short outlook of this video, basically it's give Japanese beetles to your poultry and it'll save on your feed. But there's a little bit more that I want to explain about that, and things that may help you on getting the food and collecting it effectively and not having to do a whole lot of work. If you're familiar with permaculture, there's a saying that the problem is the solution. So just like I think it was Bill Mollison, the founder of permaculture, said to an individual who had a slug problem, he said, you don't have a slug problem, you have a duck deficiency. So I've got ducks, I don't have a duck deficiency, therefore I'm going to get rid of this Japanese beetle problem. So what I've got is I've got a bucket. Now I just realized I've actually got a little bit too much water. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here, creak it down here. And you want to just put a little bit of water in the bottom of the bucket. I've got a little too much. I'm going to dump some out just because it gets kind of heavy. But all you're wanting to do is have enough in the bottom. If you've ever owned a swimming pool, you know that Japanese beetles and other bugs tend to find their way to the swimming pool and they fall in and they drown. So that's basically what we're trying to imitate here with this bucket. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the bucket, and anywhere where I see leaves with the Japanese beetles, I'll just take it and knock them down in there. So every time I go and I hit a limb or a leaf, just knocking those Japanese beetles down into that water. And this is, you could do this with a lot smaller bucket and make it a lot easier on yourself. But I'm just going to go around these plum trees and other things that are infested with Japanese beetles right now. I'm going to knock them into this bucket, and then we're going to go give it to the ducks. So let me do a little more gathering here, and I'll see y'all here in a minute. All right, so after about 2 or 3 minutes of just going around and knocking the beetles into the bucket, I got a pretty good bit here. You can see. Got probably about 100 or so, 50 to 100. And now, what are the benefits of doing this? Well, for one, just having the extra protein to feed to your birds is invaluable. A lot of times people try to focus on growing stuff like plants that are high in protein, but when it comes to poultry, really most poultry are insectivores, and a lot of your songbirds are insectivores. A lot of birds in general are insectivores, which means they eat insects, and that's where they get the majority of their protein from. So having something like this to supplement with garden waste that you might give them, some plant matter, some grains, this is really the way to go to have a really healthy diet for your poultry. Number two is that I'm not spending money on insecticides to get rid of the pest. Now that being said, you could make the argument, like, I'm not getting every Japanese beetle off of this tree. They're still gonna eat on it, they're still gonna be there, but instead of just saying, well, you know, I guess I'll spray the tree, there's still a chance of them getting on the fruit and eating the fruit, and there's still a chance of that having harmful effects on us health-wise when we eat the fruit. So rather than just having, you know, a downside to something, see the silver lining. If you've got a garden that's just full of bugs, think about it's a chicken garden. I mean, I'm going to turn this here into duck breast. So I feel like duck breast is a little bit better than fruit, although I do like plums. I think that that's a pretty good trade-off. So let's go and give these to the ducks, see how they like them. This will be the first batch of bugs I've ever given to these little ducklings. So let's go take it to them. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention is when you use this method and you put the beetles into the water, you want to make sure that you let them soak a little bit, especially if you're going to give them to chickens or something. Just because if the beetles are still pretty dry, then the first thing they're going to do is they're just going to fly off, and your birds are not going to get any. So since how these are ducks, I could really give it to them in a dish in water, but let's just give them just a little bit here. I'm going to swirl it around and make sure that the beetles are nice and wet. Let's see if we can't give them some, if they'll eat them. Yep, oh, he got one right there. Yep, oh yeah. Let's have a feeding frenzy here then. Come on. Come here, ducky, ducky, duckies. Come on, eat them. Here, maybe let's step back a little bit and let them get a hold of them. Let me bring the camera in here. Yeah, they're beetles, look. They're gonna eat all them beetles up. So in all my videos, I really like to show the stuff that I'm feeding to my animals and show you that they actually do eat it. I feel like there's a lot of videos out there that say, oh, you know, feed this and that to your chickens and your rabbits and whatever, but there's very few that actually show the animals eating the food, and that's really important. I mean, you want to feed stuff that your animals are actually going to like, enjoy. It should be like taking them candy. So this right here just goes to show that, and they've eaten. They just ate a bunch of duck feed. So this goes to show that they really do have that instinct to eat insects. So this is something, considering the amount of Japanese beetles that we have. Oh, one flew off. Considering the amount of Japanese beetles that we have, we could very easily feed Japanese beetles every day to our ducks, their enclosure. So another way to save on feed, I'll have more videos coming out about different things that you can feed to ducks, especially the Muscovies, them being a new bird on the homestead. Considering that I really haven't kept them that much, it'll be a lot of learning experiences too on finding stuff that they do like and they don't like, as far as planting forage for them and feeding them insects and table scraps and all that stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to see more like this, subscribe to the channel. I drop a video every day. Ring that notification bell so you won't forget. And we talk about all kinds of homesteading stuff, stuff about permaculture, and thanks for watching.